Welcome back to 3 and Out. I'm Ryan Orlovsky with Brian Carter, great nephew of Hall of Famer Gary Carter.
That's right.
Now's the time we open our inbox and read your email questions. If you didn't make the cut, better luck next time.
That is true, actually. I'm related to him. So let's go ahead and start without further ado. First email is from Nathan. It says, after listening to A-Rod's apology, how much do you guys believe what he says? Well, you can't BS a BSer. I mean, I know he's lying. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about A-Rod, but again, like we said in the former segment, I got to give him credit for at least coming clean after the fact that there was dirt brought up against him. He's one of the only guys in this steroid era who has actually, amongst all the allegations, said, okay, I made a mistake. I don't buy into the fact that he was young and never got a chance to grow up. That's just BS, but that's just trying to put a scapegoat on the steroids issue.
I believe he's sorry and it's a heartfelt apology, but it's just tough to see another great player who's been using performance-enhancing drugs. It was admirable for him to admit it, though.
Yeah.
This next email is from Aaron. What's the outlook for the NCAA March Madness? Well, I feel sorry for the teams getting the #1 seeds in the tournament with the way this NCAA season's been going because they're definitely going to be doomed. But I like Pitt and DeJuan Blair, as I mentioned earlier, gave my game ball to him. This could be their year because really there's only been one team that's been able to stop Blair this year, and that's been Providence, which happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, we have seen 5 #1s go down this year. I think UNC, Pitt, Wake, Duke, UConn. I mean, this year there's not really, you know how like in years past we've had those kind of players who were the best in the nation. We haven't really seen that much this year, and it's more like, not that there's any good teams that are just excellent in running the board, but it seems like it's just more of an even playing field. Like teams like Duke aren't as good as they have been in years past. And our next email is going to be from Michael. It says, it's been messy for Michael Crabtree. Is he still the top wide receiver choice at this point? Well, the deal with Michael Crabtree is that first he didn't want to run the 40. Secondly, he found out that he had a stress fracture in his foot. He claims it was an old injury. It's never really bothered him before. But then after that injury, he decides, okay, well now I want to go ahead and run to show these scouts that I'm worth picking in the first round, early first round. And I think that he was afraid it would affect his draft status if he didn't go ahead and run. He's going to delay his surgery until March 26th after the workout, and that's going to be about a 6 to 10 week recovery. As far as him affecting the draft status with all that news, I wanted to say yes initially because you have Percy Harvin in the draft, and then you have from Missouri, you got, name just slipped out of my mind, Jeremy Maclin. And Maclin, though, is also hurt right now. He's having to have an MRI on his knee. So those two receivers were the only two that I thought had a chance to go past him in the draft. But with Maclin being hurt now, too, and Percy Harvin, I think, is the only one who would be picked above Crabtree. But I think it's obvious all you got to do is look at the tape. And, Crabtree is the top receiver in that draft.
I agree with you. I think because of his performance that he had last year at Texas Tech, he has that to back him up, and really nobody put up the numbers that he did last season. This next email is from Cody. Ryan, you look like a NASCAR guy. Who's your 2009 Nextel Cup champion?
Is that true?
I know nothing about NASCAR, so I'm going to have to go with Ricky Bobby. Shake and bake, baby.
Is that really your answer?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say Jeff Gordon. But
that was what I was going to say. But, I think Jimmy Johnson's three-peat has to come to an end. I just can't see him winning a 4th championship in a row. But I don't think NASCAR's a sport to begin with. So whatever. Next email is from Jeff. Things look bad for the Suns after Stoudemire's eye injury, huh? Well, you got to kind of point and laugh at the Suns. I mean, they decided not to make a move the day before the NBA trade deadline. They decided, no, I think we're pretty much fit. I think we're set right now for this big playoff run. And then the very next day after the deadline, they find out Stoudemire has an eye injury that's going to cause him a lot of time. I think 8 to 10 weeks for him to recover. They had to reattach his retina, actually. So that sounds pretty painful, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a tough road for them.
They're going to need a boost from somebody to get into the playoffs, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Next email is from Rocco Immediate. I'm excited to see Tiger fully return. How long do you think it'll take for him to get back in full swing? Not long. I don't think Tiger would come back if he thought he was going to disappoint himself or disappoint anybody else. And he dominated his first-round performance the other day in Arizona in match play. So clearly, Tiger's feeling okay.
Yeah, he's 31-6 in his career in match play. So again, it shouldn't take him long to get his swagger back. And he said that in his time off, it actually gave him a chance to improve his short game, which I don't see how you could improve it any more than it has. But the closer, I mean, that's what he is, and that's what he will be. So he's pretty much unstoppable. Last email is going to be from Rhett. It says, if you're NBA scouts, who who is the better Curry pick, Stephen or Seth Curry? Again, those are brothers. The Davidson Jr. Stephen averages 29 points a game and 5.8 rebounds per game. And then you've got the Liberty freshman, Seth Curry, who averages 20.9 points a game and shoots 43% from the floor. But again, the only way you can compare those two is to look at the fact that Stephen, his freshman year at Davidson, had 21.5 points a game and shot 46% from the field. And that's slightly better than his brother Seth is doing right now in his freshman year. But again, Liberty doesn't have as tough a schedule as, say, Davidson.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
So, I mean, it's obvious Stephen Curry is the better Curry. But, you know, you can't go wrong when Dale Curry is your dad, who spent 17 years in the NBA. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter who you pick, but, I mean, Stephen's the better player.
You got to go with Stephen Curry just for the fact that he's established himself at a bigger school like Davidson, playing a tougher schedule.
All right, last thing we got to fit in is our gutter ball. Our gutter ball for this show is that the NBA offers to help build an indoor court at the White House. I don't know if this is part of Barack Obama's campaign. It just seems irrelevant to me. I think he needs to spend more time worrying about the economy than he does shooting some hoops.
Yeah, he doesn't need to talk about the BCS anymore either. So
yeah. We'll wrap it up.
Sorry if your email didn't make it into the show this time, but better luck next time. We'll be back after this short break.